Hello, Samson here. So in today's book review, I was reading another interesting book recommended by one of my good friends, the Art of Laziness. It's from the library mindset. That is where I think I got the book itself. No specific author. I think it's a collection of different thoughts and ideas just put together so that it can be put into a book. So the art of laziness is encompassing basically the fact that time is passing. This is the only factor that we have that is constantly going, and then once lost we cannot recover it at any point. Now is the only time that we have to do whatever we need to do and get life moving. So you do not want to get into your 80s and then start thinking of where your life went when you had the vibrance, I think, of doing whatever you needed to do in your life. So it is broken down basically into two parts. So the first part is looking at the mindset. Then the second part of the book is looking at the technique that is used actually in order to get some of the things done in life. So diving right into the different segments of the mindset. The first one, the book discusses is responsibility. So that's from Winston Churchill that says that the the price that you have to pay for you to become great, or the price to greatness, is basically you taking responsibility. So the thing to note is there is no one who's coming to your rescue in your life. Your life is you, yourself, and you. Basically what that entails is no one is going to come and save you from whatever is happening in your life, and then you need to take full responsibility of whatever is happening to you. So if you do not like where you are, what you have, and everything that encompasses around your life, then you basically need to change that yourself. The second chapter of mindset is looking at getting out of your comfort zone. So a comfort zone, someone says, is a beautiful place to be, but there is nothing that grows there. So what you want to do is you ensure that you move out of the comfort zone, where you be able to take certain actions in order to pursue what you want to pursue, and then become what you want to become. So some points to jot down here is you need to be swift in getting things done. So you make sure that you keep it simple so that you do not stay in your comfort zone, and then you need to start thinking a little bit different. Then you also need to set clear goals, and then you also build good habits basically. And then chapter 3 of the mindset is talking about self-discipline. So we either suffer from two pains, so the pain of regret and then the pain of self-discipline, according to Jim Rohn. So what you do basically here is you do not need to build habits that are going to hinder you from becoming the person you want to become. What you want to do is to do what you need to get done right there and right then. So you need to be swift in terms of taking action and all that. Chapter 4 of part 1 is dealing with you having to work on the right things. So it's important that we work on the right things. It's a blunder basically to work on things which do not basically need you to be worked on. And then in chapter 5 of mindset, that is the first part of the book, we are dealing with don't be a perfectionist. It's okay to have stuff perfect and then planned out very well at the right time and which is specified, but then it's a blunder, I think, for you to constantly pursue perfectionism, when in the actual sense that is an attribute of laziness from your end. Number 6, chapter 6 rather, we are dealing with don't be mediocre. So to become great, you need to perform your tasks at greater levels and at greater heights. There is no need for you to become someone mediocre. And then chapter 7, you're dealing with the myth of multitasking. So basically running from one task to another and all that. So what that is doing is it's actually infringing on your productivity. There is no room for you to actually have a lot of productivity when it comes to you performing tasks. So what you do is you avoid multitasking and then do one task and then focus on it until it gets done. In chapter 8, we are dealing with our daily routine. So I love what John C. Maxwell says. He says the secret to your success lies in basically what you do on a daily basis, your daily routine. So in order for you to change your life, you need to start changing the way your daily routines are. In chapter 9, we are dealing with learning how to say no. So I think it's Jim Rohn who said, never let your mouth overload your back by saying a lot of yes. So it's very easy for you to say yes, and then later on it becomes hard for you to back out of certain deals. So the best you can do is say no upfront. There are certain places and certain things you could say yes to, but it is important that you stick to some of the no's that you basically feel are not going to get you under obligation to do something that you do not want to do. In chapter 10, we are dealing with not working 24/7. So life is short, basically, and then less becomes more, and then you need to be productive and not busy. So people confuse being busy and being productive. Those are two different things. So in your 20 years from now, the only people who are going to appreciate the fact that you stayed up late are your children. The best you can do is get more done in less hours, and don't do a lot of hours doing what doesn't even need to be done. In chapter 11, we're dealing with not having to wait. Take action swiftly, and then ensure that life is moving at that speed. Then in chapter 12, surrounding yourself with the right people. So it's very common. Jim Rohn says you are the average of the 5 people that you spend most of your time with. So every 5 people you spend your time with, they form the average of what you are going to become as a human being. So who you spend your time with most of the time is going to determine what you become at the end of the day. And then you do not need to worry. That's in chapter 13. So I think it's Mark Twain who said, I am an old man and have had many troubles, which actually most of them never happened. So there is no need for us to live life worrying. So there are 2 aspects to look at. So the things that you can change and have control over, and the things that you cannot change and do not have control over. So focus on working on the things that you can change and you've got control over. In chapter 14, you're looking at doing the hard things first. So to get proper results, or to get results, basically, you need to do the hard things first, because most of the times we find ourselves derailed in the fact that, okay, we need to get these simple things done and all that, but in the actual sense, there is need to get the hard things done first. In chapter 15, we're looking at delegation. So John C. Maxwell says, if you want to do small things, then you can do them on your own, but then if you want to achieve greater things, there is need for you to delegate, which is leading us to chapter 16, where we're looking at how to learn everything faster. So the first thing to note here is the fact that for you to learn, you need to be intentional about what you want to learn. Don't learn stuff that doesn't require, or that doesn't need you to learn. And then you also remove the laziness aspect, I think, from your learning. And then moving on, we're going towards part 2 rather of the book, where there are certain tips and techniques on how to get the most out of your life and how to be productive. So the tragedy in life doesn't lie in not reaching your goals or your destiny, but rather having no destiny or goals to reach. So productivity tips which the book gives, I think some of them which we've already discussed is the 80%, the 80-20 rule, some of those to like employ, and then you need to avoid negative people, setting goals on a daily basis and all that. So looking at the 80-20 rule, we get 80% of the results from the 20% effort and work that we put in. So moving on to Parkinson's law. So this is a law that states that your work is going to expand to fill, or to be able to fill in the allotted time for it. So if you need to do something for 2 hours and then you only have 1 hour, you're definitely going to get your work done in that hour. And then there are like the Japanese techniques to overcome laziness. One of them is ikigai, I think, which I relate to so much because it deals with a sense of purpose in your life. So there are these things that you need to do. You do what you love to do, and then you do what you're good at doing. Then you need to do what the world needs you to do, and then you do what you get paid to do. And then the other practice the Japanese employ is kaizen. So kaizen is you having an improvement on a daily basis. Then there is shoshin, It has to do with you approaching everything from a beginner's perspective because there is more room to learn and all that. And then there are other practices. Then the other section of chapter 5 of part 5, the techniques, is the things that you need to do before you sleep. So the things to do before you sleep is you make sure that you evaluate your accomplishments and failures for the day, plan for tomorrow, and then the third thing is you look at your arrows. So you need to cut down what is not valuable a task to do. And then in chapter 6 of part 2, we are dealing with the tiny habits that can easily change your life. So basically move your body on a daily basis. If you need to work out, if you need to exercise and all that, you can do that. And then you can you are what you eat. So basically watch what you eat. You need to drink a lot of water and then have a sense of purpose in life, then have a sense of urgency as well. And then chapter 7 is the Pomodoro technique. So this technique works, I think, when you're working in settings where you need to focus so much. So the first one is like you work for 25 minutes and then take a 5 minutes break, and then you repeat the process. And then chapter 8 is the 5-minute rule. So everything that has to be done under 5 minutes is supposed to be done there and then. There is no postponing of that, which takes us to the other rule in chapter 9, the 2 days rule. So this one deals with you not missing out doing certain things that you need to do. For example, exercising. If you want to build a habit of exercising, you do not need to miss 2 days. 1 day is okay, but never miss 2 days. And then the last chapter is basically you waking up. Understand that each day is important, each hour is important, and each moment is important. The life you want to live doesn't it rather lies on the other side of laziness. So do the things that you want to do now, because now is the only time that you have to live. This was the art of laziness from the librarian mindset. Till we meet in the next segment, I am checking out.